it's not 241.
Welcome everybody back to another live stream. Oh boy, I just woke up literally like 10 minutes ago. So that's cool. I'm probably gonna be terrible this, but anyways, today is the last day or last full day of playing the beta. It ends tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, today is the last day basically of being able to play it. Tomorrow though, I will be playing the DLC for not Tag to Toten for Black Ops 4 Zombies. End of the Aether. My god, it's been so long. What, 11 years? 11 years of the Aether story, and it's now ending. So sad. But anyways, let's go ahead get into game. We need to at least get to level 30 by the end. And hopefully one of my friends will be hopping on. Hopefully. But let's, realism is back. I don't care about realism. I love Ground War. And I'm gonna stick it. I'm gonna keep playing Ground War. Let's go ahead and guys some audio. And I realized last stream that you guys were hearing double of me. And I'm sorry for that. I am extremely sorry about that. So what I'm gonna do is shoot me. Damn you. Well, you're not gonna have to worry about it right now because I'm not talking. But let's go ahead.
Allied UAV overhead.
The Mark II.
Ground war.
Hey, here
Capture
we go.
objectives and kill your... We're on Charlie, stand by. Enemy UAV overhead.
Of course there are enemies in this building.
The enemy has the lead.
Go ahead and
Securing Bravo.
snag them.
We have control. Crush them. Enemy cruise missile. Take cover. Captured Bravo. Enemy personal radar overhead. We have taken control.
Yes. Look at this guy. I wonder if he just spawned there.
Assist your team at B.
That's a sad thing.
We have
Probably
control.
just
Crush
spawned
them. Need backup at Alpha.
That's a tank.
We lost A. Enemy UAV overhead.
Why is there a tank in there? Oh, they just got
We have
destroyed.
lost the lead. Enemy precision airstrike. Enemy cruise missile. Take cover. Grenade have control. Crush them. Reload.
And of course, that apparently didn't hit.
Allied
No bullet
IAV
shot.
dropping in.
No bullet shot. That's not.
Allied UAV overhead. Cruise missile. Take cover.
How am I getting shot at even though I already won?
personal radar overhead.
Oh my god, I
Counter UAV. Lost. Enemy VTOL in the AO.
actually impossible to do anything.
Be aware. Allied UAV overhead. Allied IAV dropping in.
Jesus Christ, man.
Allied cruise missile launched.
Look at this lag.
Allied UAV overhead. Enemy has traveled. Enemy taking echo.
What are
Enemy
they
UAV overhead. On Delta, stand by. Securing Charlie.
Like, there's so much lag.
Activated.
I'm getting shot at from places that I'm not even supposed to be able to get shot at from
We're on Alpha, stand
because
by.
of the lag. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be like this type of lag first game on.
Friendly VTOL on station for
Hopefully,
Overwatch.
just only first game on.
Holding Alpha.
Of course, I get shot at from B. Why wouldn't I get shot at from B?
Enemy VTOL in the AO. Assist your team at Alpha. Reloading. Securing Delta.
Rank up. Yeah, see, that guy shouldn't have been able to see that.
Allied UAV
He wasn't
overhead.
even looking my way.
Capture Delta. This is Falcon 3-0. Good copy. UAV beginning flyover.
Oh, you're back there.
Friendly Wilson on station. Beginning sweep. Enemy UAV overhead.
Cool.
Enemy UAV.
Man, don't you just love tanks? On the side of it. Especially on the side. Okay.
Securing Bravo.
And they get sniped from where? Look at these guys. Look at how these guys are playing.
Got Bravo. They've reached the halfway point. Get moving.
I didn't
Enemy
spawn
cruise missile. Take
there.
cover. Assist your team at
I'm
Bravo.
gonna kill myself. I did not spawn here. I clicked to
Allied
spawn at
juggernaut
A.
act-
Damn.
Allied IAV dropping in. Allied UAV overhead. Enemies taking Alpha. Allied chopper gunner arriving. Allied UAV overhead.
Oh.
Got Bravo. Lost Alpha. We're taking Charlie. Enemy UAV overhead.
Ha! Yeah, sure. Uh-huh, sure.
Enemy cruise missile. Take cover.
Okay, I'm leaving. I gotta be back. I don't know how long, but I got to be right back. So enjoy some music.
it's not 241. Just let go. Just let go. Hey boy, head my way. Come on over, sway with me. Don't you see we could light up the night? You and me, we could be such a sight. Oh, oh, oh. Just let go, boy, spin me round till my feet won't touch the ground. Let's get high on tonight, you and I. Forget our cares, let's just share the delight. Oh, oh, oh. Just let go. Just let go. Don't you see we could light up the night? Hey, don't you see?
Alright, I'm back. Add to the bathroom break. Sorry about that. But go ahead and back into Alright. I also figured out what might have been causing my lag. My phone used. Obviously I'll watch the live stream just in case like anything happens. If you know, black screen happens, buffering, something crashes, thing happens, just so I know I'm on the note. But turn it off. So yes, let's get in playing. Oh my god. I'm so tired, Jesus. I don't want to
Capture objectives and
I
kill your
spawn out
enemies.
there just to get ahead.
Securing Alpha.
Are these guys following me?
Got Alpha.
Thanks. Tank battle.
Hostiles at Delta, go. Securing Bravo.
Ah!
Lost Delta. Securing C.
Well, I did not see him
Captured Bravo.
on the main map.
Taking fire. You're needed at sea. Reloading.
There's bullet drop off. There's travel time.
You're needed at sea.
There's actual bullet travel time. What the hell?
Enemy UAV overhead. Losing A.
Nah, dude.
We're on Charlie.
You ain't going
stand
for A. Nah, man, but just can't go for A. Go for it. Can't go for that, man.
by. Captured Charlie. We've got a UAV on station. Enemy UAV overhead. We're in control.
Poor dude.
Enemy's got the lead. Hustle up.
All I hope is that they don't spawn in me.
Enemy UAV overhead.
All I hope for.
UAV overhead. Friendly UAV overhead.
Oh, right there. Ball.
Cruise missile, go for launch.
Alright, let's get another UAV in. And my game lags. Gosh.
Jaguar 3-0.
Thank God.
Be advised, friendly precision airstrike inbound. Losing A. Friendly IAV dropping in.
Be advised, UAV is being overshot.
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Friendly IAV dropping in. Friendly UAV overhead. Losing Alpha. We've lost A. Reloading.
Of course we lost A. There's like 5 of them there.
Securing A.
Alright.
This is Jaguar 2-0. Missile away.
This is so bugged, man. It's like...
Got Alpha.
Wow. I couldn't move it. It literally only went straight down. I couldn't
Enemy
move it.
UAV overhead.
That's that's bot. Don't turn.
Losing C.
Yeah, just go for C.
We're taking Echo. Allied cruise missile away. We're on Delta, stand by. Hostiles are taking Charlie.
We're fine with going with.
Enemy personal radar in the air.
Okay.
Enemy
Really
VTOL
need
in the
that.
AO.
I don't need that.
Allied cruise missile. National team at sea.
Can't kill me. Oh, I didn't know you had a variable boom.
Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly UAV overhead. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Enemy UAV overhead.
Well, I feel like there's gonna be an enemy back here, so I'm just gonna be camping this way.
You're needed at A. Friendly UAV overhead. Assist your team at B. We're on Delta, stand by.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
We've lost A.
This is,
Friendly IAV dropping in. Hostiles
one
on
mighty
Bravo.
gamer plan right here.
Enemy precision airstrike, take cover. Securing A. Friendly UAV overhead.
Oh,
Alpha secure.
There's so many. I'm gonna be wasting all my bullets. He's dead.
We're taking Echo. Enemy UAV overhead.
Sorry,
Allied
dude.
cruise missile away.
Need one more kill.
Assist your team at Charlie. One Bravo, stand by. We're holding Echo. Friendly UAV overhead.
Sorry, man.
We're halfway there.
We're
Keep
killed.
fighting.
Oh. I need. Thank you.
More helo ready to launch. Enemy UAV overhead.
Got that in.
Need backup at Echo. Securing Bravo. We're taking Delta.
This is how real people play this game. Yes.
Enemy UAV overhead. Delta
This is
secure.
how.
Allied cruise missile away. Drop Echo. Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly UAV overhead.
Target spotted. Engage. Going down. Engage.
Allied cruise missile away. Friendly UAV overhead.
That is a scary enemy tank. There's a there's a
Allied
guy up
cruise
there,
missile away.
and I didn't hear
We're
any
taking Echo.
footsteps. Ah, man.
Enemy personal radar in the air. Shot Echo. Friendly UAV overhead. Friendly AAV dropping in.
Unfair 12-gun streak, but a 12-gun streak nonetheless.
Allied cruise missile away. Be advised, friendly precision airstrike inbound.
Come on, dude. Put your head out.
Friendly UAV overhead. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Friendly support helo inbound.
We traded. I hate
Friendly UAV overhead.
trading in this. I hate trading in any game.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Trading is the worst thing that could happen. I would literally rather die than trade.
We've lost Echo. Allied cruise missile away.
I can't jump up. Let me
Hold
up.
the Delta, go.
Fine.
Friendly UAV overhead. Friendly enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Hostiles at Delta. Got Delta. Enemy friendly UAV overhead. Reloading.
Man.
Reloading.
Really aiming on him and like all the bullets
Enemy
spread
UAV
around
overhead.
him. That dude dead? Dude's surprisingly not dead. Alright, let's go.
Enemy UAV overhead. Allied cruise missile away. Friendly UAV overhead.
Cool. Okay, let's hit
Hostiles
this
at
one.
Alpha, go. Friendly
There are definitely
UAV
people in this
dropping in.
building. Let's kill those people in this building.
Allied cruise missile away. Friendly UAV overhead.
Thank you,
Enemy
dude, because
cruise
apparently
missile
my bullets
incoming, take
cannot kill anyone.
Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly IAV dropping in.
Can I
Keep
come in?
fighting, we got this.
No? Okay.
Cruise
When
missile, go for launch.
did they come in?
Friendly chopper gunner on overwatch.
They came in at an interesting time.
That gave them something to think about. Good work.
My kill cam? No, of course not. Why would it be? Why would it? Oh. Testing, testing, testing. You guys should be able to hear. And you guys shouldn't be able to hear me. Right? Right? You guys shouldn't be able to hear me on the other side of the party. Is that correct? That is not correct. How is this? Okay, hold on. Why is this not working now? Why can I not mute myself? Oh, there it is. Muted myself. Okay, okay. We're gonna ignore that. We're going to ignore that and play some more ground war. Let me change that to attack. And hey, this is good. Let's see. I'm going to do what everybody will do. And that, okay, I'm leaving this lobby. We're not going to have a guy with that name be on our team. Wait, if I mute all of them, name will show up. Oh, thank God. Okay.
Round one. Capture objectives and kill your enemies.
Thank God.
Securing Echo.
And it points me backwards. That's cool.
Got Echo. We're on Delta. Stand by. We have control. Crush them. You're needed at B. Reloading. Capture Delta. We lost Bravo. Securing Charlie. Left out.
Okay.
Got Charlie.
got C. You don't have to worry about that.
Changing max. Reloading. Ready to reloading.
Well, cool. I just wasted all my ammo on that dude. Thank you
Allied
very
IAV
much.
dropping in.
And of course, there are people on the map.
Enemy at Delta, go!
Ooh, what is that?
Allied UAV overhead. Allied UAV overhead.
Dude, what is this guy?
Need backup at Delta.
That's not the way to do it, man. That is not a good way to do it, man.
We lost Delta.
Really? You, motherfucker. You're really
Allied
sitting in the
UAV
corner.
overhead.
And it spawns me on HQ.
Enemy UAV overhead. UAV down. Allied UAV overhead.
Come on, dude.
Enemy UAV overhead. Captured Delta.
That's a hit marker to the head. A hit marker on the head.
Allied IAV dropping in.
I don't even know what to say. God. A hit marker to the head. He die?
Allied UAV overhead.
I got 2 hit markers on
Securing
the guy.
Bravo.
One body shot, I can see that being a hit marker. The second one on the head. Wait, why did a nameplate show up?
Securing Bravo.
That's a tank.
Allied IAV dropping
That
in.
is a tank.
Allied UAV overhead. Enemy at Echo, go!
Wow.
Allied UAV overhead. Overhead.
Killed himself. Killed himself. There's a guy up there. What? We're back.
Enemy UAV overhead. Allied UAV. Enemy precision airstrike. Get down. We're on Bravo. Stand by. Friendly VTOL on station for Allied UAV overhead. Got Bravo.
Alright, I'm back.
Allied cruise missile launched.
Okay, I'm honestly surprised I'm still alive. So, sweet.
Enemy UAV overhead. Allied cruise missile.
Dude, they're
Allied
just as
IAV
confused as
dropping
I
in.
am. Underground?
Enemy precision airstrike. Get down. Allied UAV overhead. Enemy VTOL is KO. Enemy double. Las Vegas, good! Allied precision airstrike incoming. Be aware.
I don't even know what I'm being shot at. You little fucker. You motherfucker. You're really going to be doing that. You're really going to be doing that.
Enemy has Delta. Allied UAV overhead. Friendly VTOL on station for Overwatch. Allied UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead.
Yep. Guy's still on
Enemy
the
cruise
mountain.
missile. Take cover.
Yeah. Fucker. Really think
Allied cruise missile launched.
you're gonna be able to
UAV
kill
is
that?
ready for flyover.
You think you're gonna kill me?
Allied IAV dropping in.
Ah, no.
Falcon 3-0.
Oh.
Good copy. UAV beginning flyover. Signal lost. UAV. You're needed at sea. Allied UAV overhead.
Oh.
Enemy chopper gunner on approach. Enemy has Charlie.
Well, we've lost. Or no, we haven't lost. We're winning.
Securing Charlie.
Somehow we're winning. I'd like to point
Enemy
that out.
UAV overhead. Enemy attack, go. Enemy cruise missile, take cover. Cruise missile ready to launch.
There's a guy up there. No! You fucking kidding me?
Enemy cruise missile, take cover.
Teammates. Are you really that bad?
Friendly VTOL on station for Overwatch.
Guy gonna be out
Enemy
of
UAV
combat?
overhead.
Oh, we're trapped.
Enemies taking Bravo. Securing Alpha. Enemy cruise missile, take cover.
I died.
Allied UAV overhead.
And I spawned here.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy at Echo, go.
Gonna.
Enemy has Bravo.
Are we getting
Allied
dominated?
IAV dropping in.
We have no teammates on the field.
Allied IAV dropping in.
There's no
Enemy
one.
UAV overhead.
Are you actually kidding me? Where? Oh.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh.
Enemy cruise. Take cover.
Cool.
Reloading.
Yeah. They are underground. I literally want to look up the glitch so I can kill all the people who go underground. That's seriously what I want to do. I want to look up the glitch, get
Allied
into the glitch.
UAV overhead.
Anybody who goes underground to do the glitch, I'm going to kill. Like stand near the area to do the glitch.
We're taking Charlie. Securing Charlie. Enemy at Echo, go. Enemy chopper gunner on approach. Stand by. Allied IAV dropping in.
I'm leaving that game. Underground. I wish there was a report button. That could get them like banned from playing the game altogether for like 30 days when it first launches. Oh, that would be a sick burn for using glitches. Damn bait. That would be one of the sickest burns. But nope. Nope. Report players. No. Enough. There we go. Let's do that one. See how that barrel bears on the map. I had the short and sweet. Got to change. Yeah, here we go. Collision Operation Black Box Day 21. No. Day 22. Day 22nd. You're right, game.
Capture objectives and kill
Right.
your enemies.
There's guys that just hide from the multi.
We're on Alpha, stand by.
Big rip. The biggest of rip.
Alpha secure. Hostiles at Delta, go. Securing
that's-
Bravo.
There's tanks over here.
Reloading!
Are you...
Hostiles at Delta. We've got Bravo. Securing Echo.
Reloading!
Losing C. Echo secure.
Oh,
We're taking Delta. Assist your team at Bravo. Hostiles at
Yeah.
Charlie, go. We've got a UAV on station. We're taking Delta. Taking control. Hostiles are taking Echo.
oh,
Cruise missile, go for launch. We've lost Bravo.
oh,
Where's recon flyover?
This is Jaguar 3-0.
oh,
Solid copy.
Betty's.
Losing C.
Ah.
We're taking Delta. We captured
that's-
Delta. Losing Charlie.
Alright, let's go ahead and use a cruise missile.
Friendly IAV dropping in.
Jaguar 3-0. Missile away. Nice shot, good kill.
Nice shot, go
Friendly
kill.
IAV dropping in. Friendly UAV overhead. Hostiles at Charlie, go. Enemy UAV overhead. Assist your team at Alpha. We've lost Charlie. Hostiles at Delta, go. Enemy VTOL in the AO.
What?
Enemy UAV overhead. Hostiles at Delta. We're taking Bravo.
Are you actually joking?
Friendly
He
UAV
really just did
overhead.
that. He just random fired me in the window and one
Enemy
bursted
coastal
me.
radar in the air. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. We're taking Delta.
He's literally just walking.
We captured Delta. You're needed at A.
Grenade out!
Enemy UAV overhead. Securing Bravo.
Alright. Kill him.
Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly VTOL on station for Overwatch. Enemy UAV overhead. Hostiles are taking Delta.
Back out!
Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly IAV
Guys going
dropping.
down.
We've lost Delta. Enemy UAV overhead.
Fuck. No, 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 no. They're still spawning. They are still spawning.
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover.
You piece of shit. Love, love, love that. That all he has to do is just
Enemy
fucking
VTOL in the
sit
AO.
up there.
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Enemy UAV overhead.
Ha! Bitch.
Counter UAV active.
What? What? That should not be allowed! What the fuck?
Friendly IAV dropping in. Hostiles have echo.
He's still up top. He can't be still up top, right?
Friendly IAV. Enemy precision airstrike. Take. You've lost the lead, soldier. Enemy
He can't still be
on
up there, right?
approach.
Is that it? Did we win? Win?
Friendly UAV overhead.
Now, now these guys are gonna be coming up. The helicopter. Gonna be up top.
Friendly IAV dropping in.
No?
Friendly UAV overhead. Enemy support helo in the air. Enemy precision air. Friendly IAV dropping in. Enemy personal radar in the air.
Saw that, right?
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh, not dead.
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Enemy support helo in
Dude,
the air.
get wrecked.
Need backup around them.
How do I make damn class do more damage?
Friend, Allied
do I
cruise
make it?
missile away. Friendly UAV overhead.
Okay. The only thing. F&J.
Friendly
We are
UAV
losing
overhead.
so bad. It's actually not even.
Allied cruise missile away.
Thank you.
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover.
I am always so surprised when I'm dead from damn cruise people.
UAV overhead.
There were footsteps coming literally every position. Like, every area there was a footstep. I could not tell where they were
Enemy
coming.
VTOL in the AO.
Wow. That really just happened. That really just happened.
Enemy UAV overhead. Got Bravo. Enemy UAV overhead.
Nice, man.
Friendly IAV dropping in. We're on Delta, stand by. Enemy precision airstrike, take cover. Enemy chopper Cruise missile, go for launch. Securing Charlie. Reloading.
Oh.
Enemy personal radar in the air. We're on Echo, stand by.
And of course, oh.
Need backup at Bravo. We're on Echo. Reloading. Enemy VTOL in the AO.
That's just not fair.
Friendly UAV overhead.
Literally not fair. That is literally not fair. Like,
This is Jaguar 3-0. So, Jaguar 3-0.
Must be. Enemy UAV overhead. Hostiles on Echo, go. Securing Charlie.
Signal lost. UAV down.
We're down but not out. Let's go.
Nice shot. Good kill.
Captured Charlie.
dude, this sucks.
It's over. We're RTV. Move out.
Look at that.
Take your fire.
Fucking. My team. Lucky. I had the highest amount of kill on mine. More ground war. More ground war. Oh, God. I swear I was just on this team. I think I remember he. A lot of pieces. That PC. There's not even a view profile, so it's probably PC.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Wow. Can I get him on my team?
Capture objectives and kill your enemies.
No, just
Reloading. Losing Charlie. On Echo, stand by. We lost C. Enemy UAV overhead.
Piece of shit.
Holding
Teammates!
Echo.
Holy
They've reached the halfway
shit!
point. Get moving.
Are you really that bad?
Enemy
Like,
UAV
a
overhead.
fucking enemy is right
Enemy
next to
personal
us.
radar overhead.
And you just sit there like, oh, I don't see anything. Alright, I'm done. I can't play that game. Ah, mates are so fucking oblivious. Unreal. It is unreal. Why use a lightweight suppressor when we can use a tactical suppressor? What? Next level unlocked. Port barrel. No! No. Oh, axe. Oh my god. That was so close. I did not mean it. That's right, we can last game. Forgot about that. So even if I did forget something, that's so nice. So, how y'all doing? Lovely weather to spill some blood, right?
Round 1. Capture objectives and kill your enemies.
Setting a clip. Reloading.
Securing Echo. You're needed in Bravo. Echo secure.
I'm under attack. Changing max.
Securing Delta. Command is ours. Take pressure.
We fucking traded. I eat that.
Holding Delta. We lost Bravo. We're on Bravo. Stand by.
I don't want to trade. I want to either get the kill or be fucking killed, not trade.
Bravo secure.
Hey, go my fucking. Or that looks like. Happy it isn't.
Enemy at Charlie. Go.
Also, I'd just like to say that
Allied UAV
that was a
overhead.
one-shot kill from that far away with a suppressor.
Lost Charlie.
He's back up there.
Securing Alpha.
He's back. He's back fucking up there. Is this how this man's gonna
Securing
fucking
C.
play?
Enemy cruise missile. Take cover. Holding Charlie.
What? Excuse me, what? The fuck? Or if he's back up there.
Losing Charlie.
Oh my god. What is, like, how do I use this? I don't know if there's fucking travel time or if I need to lead my shot.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Reloading.
Oh! Oh, I see how it is. Oh, I see how fucking it is. These guys are actually playing like this.
Enemy at Delta, go.
I stuck him. Oh, I stuck him. Oh, that's hilarious.
Securing Charlie.
Oh, that's funny.
Enemy
Oh,
personal
man, that's
radar
hilarious.
overhead.
Got the tank.
Enemy com-
Tank should be just not available. Okay. Tank just shouldn't be.
We're on Alpha, stand by.
Because look at that. They can just sit there. Or at least make it less damage.
Enemy at Delta,
Make
go.
it have less damage.
Allied
You
IAV.
fucker.
Alpha secure.
What happened to the teammate there? Oh my god. Well, I'm spawning up here.
Allied precision. Enemy personal radar overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. Allied UAV overhead. Enemy
Where?
counter UAV. We've lost radar.
You're
Enemy
not-
precision airstrike.
you're go-
Get down.
You're gonna shoot me and not him. Also, where is he?
Allied IAV dropping in.
I couldn't even tell where he is.
UAV down. Enemy VTOL is the AO.
There's gotta be bullet travel time, right?
Assist your team at A.
Don't know where he's shooting. That him? Was that him?
Enemies taking Alpha. Allied UAV overhead.
That wasn't
Allied
him,
cruise
was it?
missile launched. Enemy at Delta, go.
I just watched that man die. I just watched that man fall to
Enemy
his
UAV
death.
overhead. Enemy has Delta. Pushing Alpha.
There, okay, there is bullet travel
We're
time.
halfway there. Keep going.
You can see the bullet moving. It is very slow, so I
Allied
might
cruise
want to get
missile
rid of
launched.
this compressor. That is making it extremely
Allied
slow.
gunship in the area. Engaging targets. Enemy cruise missile. Take cover. Come on. Securing Charlie.
Ah! Oh, what? Still alive?
Enemy personal radar overhead.
Still alive?
Capture Delta. Allied cruise missile launched. Allied UAV dropping in. Allied UAV overhead. Enemy at Echo, go.
Okay, this is
Enemy
literally the
UAV
worst
overhead.
spot ever.
Enemy cruise missile, take cover.
How about third tank coming.
Enemy chopper gunner on approach. Enemy has Echo. Enemy at Delta, go.
Oh, please let me shoot those feet. Please let me shoot the feet.
We're taking Echo. Assist your team at Alpha. Enemy has Delta. Echo secure. Enemy UAV overhead. We lost A.
Got
Ready for
him.
flyover.
This is target field. Good copy.
Very sad.
Enemy personal radar overhead. Losing B. Cruise missile ready to launch.
That was, you gotta be honest, that was pretty awesome. Even though I am camping up here, that was pretty awesome. That man just fell to death.
Allied IAV dropping in.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning to resupply.
Securing Alpha. Enemy gunship inbound.
No! Are you fucking kidding me? He got up there that quick. He got up there that quick.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy personal radar overhead. Allied UAV overhead. Alpha secure.
No, fuck off! Oh, God, okay.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. Be aware.
No! Stop moving! Oh. God damn.
Enemy personal radar overhead. Losing Bravo.
Man.
Allied cruise missile launched.
Bye-bye!
Direct hit.
Enemy UAV overhead. We lost Bravo.
What? No way! Oh, I'm so mad. Oh, I'm so fucking mad at that.
Enemy UAV overhead. We're taking Bravo.
Nice.
Allied UAV
Mark right
overhead.
there. Wait a minute. Unload. Alright.
We're taking Charlie. And
Man, this is very slow. Very, very slow.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Changing max.
Oh,
Allied cruise
I can
missile
barely
launched.
hear you.
Allied precision
Yeah, I
airstrike
can barely hear
incoming.
you.
Beware.
Like you're extremely quiet.
Allied UAV overhead.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Your team is engaged.
Still extremely quiet.
Enemy precision airstrike. Get down. Allied IAV. Enemy UAV overhead.
Exactly the same.
Enemy VTOL in the AO. Allied UAV overhead.
Still the same.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. Beware.
Usually I'm this loud.
And it's still extremely quiet. Gosh.
Probably.
Allied IAV dropping in.
Haven't changed anything on my end.
Enemy UAV overhead. We're on Charlie. Stand by. Enemy precision airstrike. Get down. We are winning. Increase the lead.
It's better.
Nah, still the same.
Enemy cruise missile. Take cover.
How about now?
That's getting better. So quiet.
Hello.
Getting better.
Enemies taking echo. Enemy
I mean,
UAV
'cause
overhead.
I turned my
Enemy
microphone
VTOL in
up.
the AO. Exceptional. This is who we are.
Change anything though.
Usually I'm not this loud on my microphone, and I just adjusted it for my. I am in Fortnite right now. Just doing my daily. It's just searching ammo boxes in different name matches. Different name locations, different name matches. Oh.
Apparently at level 31 for the M4A1, you get a sniper scope.
Oh?
Yeah. How does that work? What the fuck?
I just obliterated an Ultimate Knight, like really, really bad. Feel bad for him. Hello there, Mick. What? I have to save that. There is no way that just happened. I just randomly sniped and killed someone. No, like I was aiming at a mech, missed, and apparently hit someone else.
Oh wait, I'm level 30? Oh, I am level 30. Oh yeah.
Oh. Ah! Nope, nope.
For the battlefield with white smoke. Good try for the guns or the white font.
Oh god, I just got sniped at.
I'm gonna try for white phosphorus. Oh, counter. Cluster. Cluster.
How the...
Upper gunner. Guns.
I am in Gotham. I am Batman. You guys seriously have to do that? No.
Yeah, I've been sniping the entire time. Like an hour now. Or an hour and a half. Just been sniping.
God damn it, I'm fucking done with this shit. I hate snipers.
Oh. Try and get that white phosphorus. Like yesterday. Enemy up.
I'm done with this match. I'm done with this match. Fucking hate this match so goddamn much. Can't
Capture
even do my
objectives and kill your enemies.
Well, I did it, but it's hard as shit. Trying to knock someone off of a high bar. Hold it.
Oh yeah. Nice rack night steak back. Hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Of course we got shot down by a goddamn tank. And how it always goes.
Hostiles are taking Delta.
You getting on then?
What?
Getting on then?
Yeah.
Hostiles have Delta. Reloading. We're
I'm
taking
done, dude.
Charlie.
I only need a couple, like, thousand to get to level 65.
And how the hell did that guy not die?
Wait, no, wait, they have the Naruto run. In the item shop.
Lag. Oh my.
Did you hear me?
Yeah. Of course there's another fucking guy there.
Losing B.
Can't even fucking
Because
get
of
one place to
yesterday. And they only have it for another
We've lost B.
hour and a half.
Friendly UAV overhead.
God. They're already fucking camping. Actually.
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly AAV dropping in. Losing Charlie. Be advised. Enemy precision airstrike inbound.
Dude, another guy came here? Or did he just spawn
UAV
in?
overhead.
Fuck.
Oh no
I
way.
believe we're already leaving.
They have the Batman Cape Crusader back.
We've lost Charlie.
I'm in danger.
Reload. Enemy UAV overhead. Allied cruise missile away. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Securing Bravo.
That was scary. Tested.
Stand by. UAV up. Allied
He's
cruise
sitting in the
missile.
corner.
Securing Echo. Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover. Enemy personal radar in the air.
116.
We're holding Delta. We're holding Bravo. Enemy UAV overhead.
Dude, how the fuck?
It won't let me join the game. Beta ending?
Oh.
When?
Tomorrow, like noon your time.
Why? Is it like the end in the beta or?
Yeah, it's the end and the bait.
No way.
Yep, we'll just have to wait till next month when the whole game is released. But
Wait, so
tomorrow,
as
the last
for-
DLC for Black Ops 4 is coming out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So does that mean do the same levels that we got on here? Does that mean they're the same levels that we get to carry on into?
No,
Oh,
that's never
Okay.
how the beta works. Earn the levels in beta to test out each weapon, and you get a special award for reaching a certain level. And that reward will get carried over the whole game. And whatever clips and live streams, videos you had from the beta. But the only thing that you get to keep that actually in the game is a special beta rule, which is the shotgun variant.
yeah. After I think a couple of matches, I'm gonna go look at that video that I took of me in Fortnite. What? That was awkward.
But
So, I don't know what she was talking about, but it's this person I just met today, and said something about it must have lodged in the thing. I was like, what? Exactly. That's what I said. Stealing some M&Ms.
Round
Alright. Let's get some kills.
We're
Yes.
holding Echo. The lead is ours. Keep pushing. We're taking Delta. Got Delta. Enemy at Bravo. Go. Assist your
Pretty
team
sure
at Charlie.
someone's already up side of the quarry.
Yeah. They are.
Assist your team at B. We lost
Enemy's
Charlie.
taking Bravo.
Not seeing any flashing lights from theirs.
Securing B.
Died.
Got Bravo. Enemy personal radar overhead. Securing C. Enemies taking Delta.
That poor guy.
Allied IUV
Someone's
dropping
going
in.
after D.
We captured Charlie.
No one's near it.
I am.
Allied UAV overhead. We lost Delta.
What?
Allied precision
didn't
airstrike
even see
incoming.
him.
Be aware.
We're one by the flag and
Well,
Reloading.
I.
are you fucking kidding me?
This is bad.
Allied UAV overhead. Enemy at Echo. Go. Got Delta.
Time to go back to C. Someone's going after E now.
Enemy personal radar overhead.
What? Oh.
I don't want of the tank. Nobody wants to die from this stupid fucking tank.
Are you?
Hey, Devon Gonzalez. Hey, man.
Enemy
How's it
UAV
going?
overhead.
Hope I said you're, Devin? Devin! Devin! It's probably Devin. Hey, man. I saw two people go up onto the
Enemies
mountain.
taking Delta.
Fine with that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And of course I get sniped.
Enemy
Because I
UAV
missed one
overhead.
shot and the guy knows exactly where I'm at without aiming.
Enemy has Delta.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Precision airstrike. Get down. Enemy UAV overhead. Securing Bravo.
For all these people who just sit up on the mountainside.
Bravo secure.
Friendly VTOL on station for overwatch. Allied received
They're
airstrike
starting to
incoming.
push towards
Enemy
us.
in Bravo, go.
Alright.
Enemy personal hit. Enemy UAV overhead.
You like to run the M4A1 with the MP7?
Are you
Or the
fucking?
M4A1 with the sniper? Yep, that's what I'm using. That's my setup.
Missile launched. Lost B. Allied IAV dropping in. Enemy counter UAV. We've lost radar. Securing Echo. Enemy UAV overhead.
Hi.
Holding Bravo.
So bad. Actually, so bad.
Oh my god. Where are they all coming from? Like, I hear them, but
They're probably spawning on other teammates fighting.
oh my god, with how many times I shot this dude.
Devin,
this is
hey man,
ridiculous.
thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated.
We're on Alpha standby.
Much appreciated.
The enemy has the lead. Allied UAV overhead.
I have no idea where any of them are.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. We have control. Crush them. Allied cruise missile launched. Alpha secure. We have control. Crush them. We have taken the lead. Precision airstrike. Get down.
How are they all
Enemy
over
cruise
there?
missile. Take cover. We're on Echo
Don't know.
standby.
I literally can't find anyone. Like, I'm running around in a giant circle not finding anyone. They've only gotten
They're like
2
how I
kills.
was yesterday.
I've literally only gotten 2 kills. I can't find anyone. I just watched a man get headshot sniped.
Oh my god.
Allied cruise missile launched. Need backup at Bravo.
Yeah, just
They're
look
at
at
B.
look at the dude and just watch him kill you. That's like amazing, dude. That's gonna help your teammates out a lot.
They're gonna be spawning at B now.
Allied IAV dropping in.
Oh my god. How did those last bullets not hit him? Oh, we lost B.
Oh my god, how are they getting behind us?
They're spawning on B.
Allied received airstrike.
No, like they're getting behind us, like around E.
Oh, then they're probably using like a helicopter or spawning on teammates that are already over there.
Enemy UAV overhead. Allied cruise missile launched. Need backup at Echo.
Oh my god, I shot that guy so many goddamn times. How did he not?
Lost radar.
I'm done with this.
Oh my god.
So glad the beta is ending tomorrow.
Enemy
I mean, it's
precision
not
airstrike.
that
Get down.
bad. It's just people are able to spawn on teammates, and they're probably behind us. Probably kill like some of them, and then there's like one person left. So that one person, other people are able to spawn on, and then they just all
Enemy
form
cruise
up
missile.
behind
Take
us.
cover.
I don't know how I'm still alive.
Well,
Enemy precision airstrike. Get down. Enemy UAV overhead. Securing Bravo. Cruise missile ready to launch.
I think I just killed somebody running out of a door, not the person I was trying to aim for.
Allied UAV overhead.
oh shit.
Securing B. Enemy personal radar overhead.
Okay, I got a cruise missile.
Rocket control. Cruise missile away.
Of course, I aimed for the people that
Oh my
were all
God.
inside.
Friendly VTOL on station for Overwatch. On Delta, stand by. Allied IAV dropping in.
No! How did he get in? Oh, I was on a kill streak too. Damn it.
Oh my god, as soon as I show my face, he kills me.
We lost Bravo.
Really? Really? You have a shotgun as your secondary, an LMG as your primary, and a shotgun as your secondary. Are you joking?
Allies precision airstrike incoming. Beware. Allied friendly VTOL on station for Overwatch.
Watch out for a tank. They have one of the tanks have like perfect view for shooting us on the inside.
UAV overhead. Assist your team at A. We lost A. Allied precision airstrike incoming. Beware. This is our fight. Stay focused. Allied cruise missile launched. Airstrike, get down. Allied UAV overhead.
Shit, we won?
Yeah, we won.
We have victory. Thanks to you.
I thought we were gonna lose.
Honestly, thought so too. MP5 is so, like, good. Unbelievable. This guy on our team went 50 and 16.
50?
50.
Jesus.
Oh.
He must have just been there when they were spawning. This ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Kill my dad's M&M's. And I might have to get off soon because my Rams are playing soon, so
Nice.
which one?
You're gonna leave me for a football game?
Yep. I'll be back
Wow.
on.
Wow.
It all depends on the first quarter. If they just crush them in the first quarter, I'll be back.
But that's the
You
thing,
wanna
I don't
know
know
who
if
they're
I'll be
playing?
on.
They're playing the Browns, so they should be fine.
Hey, someone in the Cold Stone lost. Old Steve.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Alright. I want to get any heli or a quad or something. Go to the side of the quarry and be that person who just snipes everyone there. I want kill streak. That is apparently the only way to get kill streak.
Ground war. Capture objectives and kill your enemies.
I got a much better gun now. Ah! I got sights on this bitch.
We're on Alpha, stand by.
Is that you up on the mountain?
Yes.
Yeah, I just saw a green dot go. Meow.
Captured Alpha.
I think somebody else is gonna be coming up here as well.
Hostiles at Delta, go.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You're needed
Let's
at Charlie.
see.
Securing Bravo. Lost Delta.
Oh god, yeah, there's tanks up here. Jeez.
Oh,
I mean, we got teammate tanks, but there's also enemy tank.
Assist your team at Bravo. We've got Charlie. We're in the lead.
ah!
We're losing ground. Step it up. Friendly UAV overhead.
I am so bad at sniping from this far. So there is actual bullet travel time.
Hostiles
Okay.
at Bravo, go.
So you have to kind of lead your shot if they're running. Which is annoying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh god, where'd they go?
Friendly UAV over. Enemy precision airstrike. Take it. We've lost Bravo.
I honestly don't know where they
Friendly IAV dropping in. Losing ground. Step it up. You've lost
I'm
the
not
lead,
fucking
soldier.
kidding. I don't know how these shots is it. Ah! Killed him. Oh no, there's a...
Securing Bravo.
Yep. Well, I'm out. There's a tank coming up here. I'm out.
Inbound. We're holding Bravo.
There's an enemy.
Over launch. Someone gunner on approach.
Alright, where? What? He was up there and looked down at me? Why would you fucking look down at me? If you're up there, why not just fucking... I don't get people's logic.
Take cover.
Where'd you go? Trying to spawn on me.
I'm on the mountainside.
That's not where they spawn on you.
Yeah, okay.
Losing ground, stepping
No,
up.
like I can't even see you on the
Precision
map.
airstrike,
Yeah, I
take
just
cover.
died because apparently that tank is more powerful than my tank, and even though I almost hit all my shots, they apparently can, you know, still deal more damage.
Friendly UAV overhead.
I'm gonna destroy that.
Oh,
Radar target.
Ah, cool. There was two people right next to each other, and I killed one of them, but not the second one. Don't.
Friendly UAV overhead.
I'm going. Wait, where's squad? Okay. Where are you? Are you heading up to the side, or are you?
yeah.
No, I'm gonna come pick you up.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Ah! Dude, this guy is so fucking annoying. Sitting up here on with the tank. I think it got
He's
destroyed.
really good at what he does, though.
Probably because he does it every single game. Every single life he spawns, probably does it.
Whoop.
Friendly UAV overhead.
What?
You're needed at Bravo.
Okay, how do they know that we're down there, though?
Friendly AAV dropping in.
Good question.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Good fucking question. There's one guy just sitting up there sniping all of us trying to get over there, and there's another guy sniping everybody outside, and then there was one guy that was sitting on the building in front, killing everybody as well. They're just all sitting up there.
Friendly UAV overhead. Hostiles are taking Bravo.
Can we go up to the roof?
Yeah.
I'm just trash this game. I don't even have a kill.
I have
Enemy chopper gunner
8.
on Overwatch. We've lost Bravo.
Wow.
Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover.
Where?
I thought I saw someone, so I took a shot just in case.
Missile incoming. Take cover. Enemy UAV overhead.
Get the other guy? No, he's still there.
Friendly counter
Got him.
UAV active.
Where are they all at? Up above, or?
I don't think they're up on the quarry anymore. I think they're down in the buildings.
Friendly UAV overhead.
Nope, nope, I'm getting shot at. I'm getting shot at from the quarry side.
We're holding Bravo. Enemy Wilson deployed.
Where is he? Oh, he's...
Behind the
Oh.
truck.
Friendly IAV dropping in.
Nice.
Friendly UAV overhead.
Sweet.
Watch out at the tank might try and shoot
Halfway
us.
there, keep fighting.
Actually, he's probably not.
Enemy VTOL in the AO.
Well, I hit someone on the mountain.
I hit someone as well. I hit another guy. Hit another guy. I hit another guy! I keep getting hit markers, but this guy fucking, the first shot he took, one-shot me.
We've lost Bravo.
How the fuck does that make any sense, man? I got another hit marker.
Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover.
I got another hit marker.
Friendly UAV overhead.
The guy
Oh,
coming up.
Jesus. Yep, I saw someone there also on the buildings to our left shooting us.
Watch out, there's a guy, there's a guy up here.
What?
UAV dropping in.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I just sniped the guy gliding down in the parachute.
Oh, there's a guy up with us.
Another one?
Securing Echo.
Yeah.
The fuck, where are they coming from? Like, I literally killed two of them.
UAV dropping
Killed one that was gliding to us. I don't know how that other guy got here.
I don't know, but I'm going up to finish him.
Hostiles at Echo. Go. Allied cruise missile away. Friendly UAV overhead.
My god, I got sniped.
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take. Enemy chopper gunner on approach.
They have a chopper gunner. This guy is going 46 and 14 on the enemy team.
Enemy
Oh.
UAV overhead. Enemy support
Watch out
helo
to your
in the
left,
air.
though.
Yep. Alright.
Like I said, watch out to your left.
Back up at Echo. Hostiles have Echo. Enemy UAV overhead.
Alright, I killed the chopper gunner.
Enemy VTOL in the AO. Enemy chopper gunner on approach.
And they have another one. Jesus Christ. At this rate, this guy might get a fucking tactical nuke. Tactical nuke. Which means even if we're winning, he's still gonna win the game because he nuked us.
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Enemy VTOL in the AO. Friendly UAV overhead. Friendly UAV overhead.
Okay, thanks game for not letting me deploy my shoot. We have to kill this guy. Or he's going
Oh.
60 and 14.
Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Securing Bravo. Friendly UAV
Where
overhead.
is this guy?
We're holding Delta. We're holding Bravo. Check your fire. Friendly UAV overhead. Hostiles at Delta. Go.
there?
Cruise missile.
Do
ready
what?
for launch. Lost
The
Delta.
blue screen?
No,
Lost Bravo.
Yeah, I just got kicked out.
that
Enemy
sucks.
UAV overhead.
I wasn't doing very good
Missile
anyway.
away.
Still.
Securing Echo.
Nice shot, good kill.
Official team at sea.
I don't know where War is. He's gotta be in like a tank or something.
Cruise missile. Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover. Securing Delta. Friendly UAV. White phosphorus loading. Green to deploy.
He just got a white phosphorus. Oh wait, no, I got a white phosphorus.
UAV overhead. Delta secure.
Striker 3-1, dropping wing.
Lost C. Enemy UAV overhead.
Hey, Rachel!
Friendly IAV dropping in. We're taking Echo. Enemy cruise
Oh,
missile
War
incoming.
died.
Take cover.
He's 81 and 15.
81.
81. What the fuck? Of course, this guy's camping in a corner with a shotgun. Not even War.
Friendly IAV dropping in. Securing Bravo. Enemy camping UAV online. Enemy
I think
cruise
if I go
missile
one more
incoming.
blue screen,
Pick back up at Alpha.
I'm gonna be mad.
Crushing it. Stay with it. Friendly UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. We're holding Bravo.
Dude, how the fuck did that guy not die when I literally... My god, he had to have been like less than fucking hell. Like, come on. He had to be one shot. He had to have been the lowest fucking L he's ever been. Well, we won.
Oh, nice.
He went 87 and 16. So I think he might have died off his nuke multiple times, but kept getting streaks. Unless he was
Wait, how
camp.
many kills do you have to get a nuke?
25.
Oh.
Unless he was one of the people who were camping up top with a tank and getting kills that way. And if so, then he wouldn't have been able to earn a nuke getting in a tank. And kill streaks don't count towards a nuke either. It has to be a 25 gun streak.
Ooh.
Yeah. I've
I
gotten
mean,
close.
there were a few people with a lot of guns. I mean, tanks.
Yeah, so I'm pretty
Obviously,
sure he
there
was
were
one.
people with guns.
I am going to be right back.
Same.
Yeah, chat. I'm gonna be right back real quick. Grab a drink. Bathroom break. Alright, chat. I'm back. Check. Chat. I am back. Obviously not back yet. I gotta do. What else? Let me try a proximity mine. Feels like I was doing in the.
I swear my cat is like my child.
Wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I treat him like, I don't know. I treat him like he's a some kind of prince or some shit.
So you're supposed
I treated my dog like that too. All my animals will probably be spoiled.
Oh, mine definitely. My cat, just like, she's a bit chubby. She's a bit chubby. And, no,
And I bought my cat a toy on his first day home,
that's good.
even though he already had a toy.
Bring him something new and fun to familiarize with, along with the place.
Ice. You cut out. What'd you say?
That's good because you bought him something new but also fun along to play with in the new place.
It is. Yep. Have you ever heard of what it's called? Talking Rain, like the drink.
No.
It's like sparkling water.
Huh.
Well, it is sparkling water. It's not like sparkling water.
Ground war.
Like
You know what I
sparkling
mean.
water is sparkling water.
Now where'd you go, dude?
We're on Echo. Stand by.
Oh, you're at your water.
We're taking Delta. Captured Echo. We are in command here. Securing C. Need backup at Bravo. Got Delta.
There are people already going up top. There are.
Assist your team at C.
Okay, I was getting shot at from a tank.
Lost Charlie.
That far away. Wow, I don't know how I did anything in his way.
Ooh!
They just all just came in.
Oh no!
Enemy UAV overhead.
There's a sniper out there.
Come on. Dude, I hate the recoil so much. Like when you're trying to snipe and the person shoots you and there's like that Lick up when they shoot. I fucking hate that, so annoying.
Oh god. I killed someone after they killed me with a grenade.
Allied IAV dropping in.
I'm going up top.
Enemy cruise missile, take cover.
There are people in our spawn.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Of course there's a guy on the watchtower. Why wouldn't there be? Laying up there.
Delta secure.
My god, they need to make the lines on the sniper scope a lot more visible. Or drop off. It's almost impossible to tell the lines.
Enemy cruise missile, take cover. Enemy personal radar overhead.
He threw a thermite on me. The fuck? Just, he waited for me to come in and threw a thermite. I don't even know what to say about that. That's just... What? Why?
We're taking Bravo.
I'm dead.
Weapon rank up.
Damn stupid parachute.
Allied UAV overhead.
Oh my god, as soon as I spawn I get shot.
Allied counter UAV activated.
Yep, same.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I just lagged so bad.
What? Oh god. Stupid tanks.
Yep.
Allied IAV dropping in.
What the fuck?
What?
My god. I need to really make a classy.
Enemy UAV overhead. Need backup
Odin
Delta.
seems ridiculous.
We're taking Charlie. UAV down. We're taking Bravo. Allied cruise missile launched. Allied UAV overhead.
Are you kidding me? Literally none of the shots registered? What the fuck? Oh my god, that's so fucking annoying. None of the shots registered, really. I can't believe that absolutely 0 shots registered.
Allied cruise missile launched. Back Bravo.
That was...
Enemy Wilson deployed. Allied cruise missile launched.
What the... Oh my god. It's the same fucking guy every time.
Enemy
Literally
personal
can't hit
radar
him.
overhead. Allied IAV dropping in. Need backup at Delta. Enemy cruise missile, take cover. Enemy VTOL. Allied counter UAV activated. They've reached the halfway point. Get Allied UAV overhead.
Oh god. They're kicking our ass.
Yep.
Allied IAV dropping in.
But I failed.
Are you kidding me?
Enemy personal radar overhead. Allied UAV overhead. Allied precision airstrike incoming. Beware. Allied cruise missile launched.
These guys. There's a guy going 23 and 8.
Enemies taking Delta.
I am 6 and 7.
Well, not bad.
Enemy UAV overhead. Allied UAV overhead. Enemy has Delta.
Oh my god, they're just spamming stuns and grenades. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I just got a quad feed.
Ho ho ho.
Because they all swarmed in one spot. I got a quad feed.
Cruise missile ready to launch.
Jesus. That shows how many there are in that one spot. They're still there. What the fuck?
Delta secure. Allied precision airstrike incoming. Beware. Allied cruise missile launched.
They're pushing.
Enemy VTOL.
What?
Allied counter. Allied UAV overhead.
Dude, where the fuck was he?
Need backup at Delta. Enemy UAV overhead. We're on Charlie. Allied UAV overhead.
Oh, yeah.
Enemy counter UAV.
There.
We've lost Delta. Allied UAV overhead.
Oh my god.
I see team at Bravo. Allied cruise missile launched. Allied IAV dropping in. Allied
We've
UAV
lost
overhead.
this. There's no way we're winning this. They're just all fucking sitting in a building or camping up
Echo.
snipers.
No effect on target. Allied chopper gunner arriving now.
Oh damn, I'm 12 and 12. Shit.
Echo. Enemy UAV overhead. Allied support kilo inbound.
Oh my. How is that guy hitting more shots than me? That's when he's actually fucking standing still and I'm hitting all. I'm aiming directly on the dude. Hitting more shots. And I'm not even fucking moving my cross. Oh,
We're on Echo. Stand by.
so fucking.
Allied UAV overhead. Securing Charlie. Allied chopper gunner arriving now. Taking Echo. Allied cruise missile launched.
Really?
Got Charlie. Securing Echo.
Oh my
Of course
god.
I died from a fucking grenade.
Allied IAV dropping in. Allied counter UAV activated. Captured Echo. Enemy UAV overhead. Securing Delta.
There's
Assist
no
your team at
way
course.
he fucking hit me. I wasn't even in his fucking
Enemy cluster
view.
radar overhead. Allied missile launched. Captured Delta.
Fuck.
Allied UAV overhead. Friendly VTOL on station for Overwatch. Enemy has Charlie. Allied precision airstrike incoming. Enemy
grenade.
UAV overhead.
That's another grenade. Literally
Are you-
grenade, grenade,
you-
grenade, grenade, non-fucking stop. I need that. Fucking get in there. Literally impossible to do anything because it's always a fucking grenade that can thrown.
Allied UAV overhead.
Non-stop. Those stuns and grenades. Stuns, grenades. Stuns, grenades. There's a stun and a grenade! Like I called was gonna
Friendly VTOL on
happen.
station for Overwatch.
Hey, I'm 15 and 19.
I am 20 and 19.
They're killing us. Shields up.
And then I get shot at from literally while I spawned in.
Enemy UAV overhead. Allied counter UAV activated. Securing Charlie. Allied UAV overhead. Allied cruise missile launched. Sister UAV.
There's another one? Are you fucking kidding me? They just all sat in that fucking building. I literally killed 4 of them with their backs turned, just aiming, like, facing the way B flag, all facing them because they were still spawning in. And I killed 4 of them. And then this guy turns around and fucking hits all of his shots. And I literally hit none of them. I was shooting him, and none of the shots registered.
I'm almost to 20. Oh, I am 21. Jeez.
Man.
And I'm 21 in real life. Should I do the hollow or should I do the reflex?
Hollow or...
Because it gives me more
I would
accuracy.
do
but...
hollow. That's what I've been using is hollow.
Alright. Starburst. Did I level this up?
God dang.
Right. I was doing really well though that match.
I went 20 and
Only like 16, 21? T-post.
Yep. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's loving it.
Capture objectives and kill your enemies.
You know what song just popped in my head randomly? Don't you want me baby?
Oh my. Incredible.
Securing Alpha.
Did they just kill you?
No.
Hostiles are taking
I'm in a
Delta.
tank.
We're on Bravo. Stand by.
I'm
Securing
literally in a tank and you're not. You're not my dad.
Charlie. Captured Alpha.
Have you seen that video?
Hostiles at Delta.
Oh my god, this kid is literally in his tank, in this like military tank,
Charlie.
and the dad's trying to get him out of it. He was like, I am literally in a tank and you're not my dad. No.
Bravo secure.
And he was like, get the fuck out of the tank. No, I'm not, you're not my dad.
God.
YOLO! Whee!
We've lost C.
Don't you want me, baby? Don't
You
you
want-
want-
Oh.
Friendly UAV overhead.
Honestly, haven't heard that song in so long.
I have it on my playlist and like I heard it a couple days ago.
I
at
really
work,
should
so
add
I
it to my
was-
playlist.
Should.
Allied cruise missile
It's
on the way.
life.
It is life.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Dude, I'm sitting in a tank getting like so many fucking kills. This is just sad.
Ah! Ah, that's nasty. You know what a balloon on a mailbox means? Party over here.
You're needed at B.
Oh my god.
Enemy VTOL in the AO. Enemy UAV overhead.
Damn, that guy has a rocket launcher. You're so cool. I wish I had a rocket launcher. Oh wait, I can have one. Oh my god.
Enemy UAV overhead.
How? What? Where? Oh, VTOL.
Where the fuck even was he?
Need backup at Bravo.
Oh my god.
I just died from a grenade because for some reason my character hopped out of the tank. And this person threw a fucking grenade.
Oh my god. Why is it every time I spawn, someone kills me? Trying to be real bullshit.
I got a fucking hit marker that close. That
Ho,
close.
ho, ho, ho,
Friendly
ho.
UAV overhead.
This guy's name is Scrote
Enemy VTOL
Farmer.
in the AO.
I don't wanna die.
We're taking
I
Echo.
don't wanna die.
Enemy personal radar in the air.
That's called the I don't wanna die song. Are you fucking for real? Literally as he spawned.
Can't even throw that high. That's great. Good job, character. Can't throw.
I mean, you spawn in the rail yard and just get completely obliterated.
Allied cruise missile away.
Oh my god!
We've got Echo.
You fuck!
Friendly UAV
I'm done with this
overhead.
match. I really am. I'm
Friendly
done with
UAV
it.
dropping in.
Can't even get a single freaking kill.
Enemy
I'm
gunship
1 in
inbound.
8.
We've lost B.
Or you'll get a kill.
Friendly
Almost
UAV
positive.
Are you sure
Go.
about that?
Okay.
Oh, there we go. I got one, but as soon as I got one, I died.
Securing Delta.
Oh, told you get a kill.
Yeah, but.
I didn't say what would happen afterwards.
Can we take over their headquarters?
Friendly VTOL on station
No.
for us. We captured Delta.
No?
Hostiles at Echo. Go.
I don't wanna die.
Be advised.
Come on,
Friendly
jump on
precision
them.
airstrike inbound.
You motherfucker. Sitting in the tank.
We're on Bravo. Stand by. Hostiles are taking Echo. Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover. Enemy UAV overhead.
They're all sitting in there.
Ooh.
Just wait. I want to spawn on you. Okay.
Oh my god.
Wow, thanks, game, for not letting me throw the fucking grenade.
What?
I literally pulled out a grenade, let go of R1, and it didn't fucking throw the grenade.
Enemy UAV
Literally
overhead.
nothing happened.
Hostiles are taking Echo.
Jesus. Game.
Hey, Ice, it would really help if you let go of the grenade, though.
I know. My character wanted to be an ass and not let go of it.
Right, I'm wrong character.
Well,
We've lost Echo.
I got a grenade kill.
We're taking Bravo.
Fuck yeah.
Enemy UAV overhead.
No, they're spawning behind you. They literally spawned on top of me and killed me.
Dropping in.
How?
I don't know. They literally spawned on top of me and killed me. And then I get shot through a box from getting spawned on again. Oh, this game spawns are fucking trash.
Enemy Wilson deployed.
Nope, 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 nope.
So is the hit detection. The hit detection is
Oh
also
my
fucking
god, are you?
Friendly IAV dropping in. Halfway there. Strap it up. Securing Bravo.
How is it that when I start shooting them, they can easily look at me and just instantly kill me?
There you go.
We've got Bravo.
Like, this is starting to be stupid.
Huh? Alright. Using the Odin. Fuck it. I'm gonna try
You
the
have
most.
the Odin?
Yep. I'm level 30.
Oh yeah. I'm level 21.
Hostiles are taking Bravo. Support helo in the air.
I just got a double kill. Like instantly. Fucking Odin.
Enemy VTOL in the AO.
I s-
Allied cruise missile away.
Oh my god.
Enemy precision airstrike.
The Odin is OP.
Oh, there we go. I got 2 kills.
Oh, except when you can't shoot through a fucking bar. But they can, so that's cool.
Got Charlie. Friendly IAV dropping in. That's
Oh my god. Dude. When you get to level 30, like just use the Odin. It's like it's not even a choice. Like it's just so OP.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Whoa.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh, cool.
Are you fucking for real?
Oh. Wow.
What?
I literally spawned on top of the enemy. And they instantly shot me because they saw me spawn in.
Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover. Enemy personal radar. Allied cruise missile.
Oh my god.
Friendly counter UAV active.
Next to you.
Go.
Friendly UAV overhead.
What?
Our ammo crate exploded.
How?
Man, love using the Odin. Such a fun weapon to use, you know? Oh, and that guy one-shots me with them. That's cool.
Allied cruise missile away. Friendly UAV overhead. Precision airstrike.
Are
Take
you
cover.
what?
Friendly
I
VTOL
don't
on
even
station
know
for
where
overhaul.
that guy was and where the launch was.
Enemy personal radar in. Friendly UAV overhead.
Well, I'm 8 and 17.
I'm 35 and 14.
What?
Just using the Odin. Just the Odin. I am
That's how
just
that
using
guy
the
was,
Odin.
Like 15.
Yeah. That's how OP this is. Yeah, I'm not streaking up because I keep dying literally like 2 off of a streak.
Rock Delta, stand by. Be advised, friendly position. We're on Bravo, stand by. Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly IAV dropping.
How did I spawn in their enemy area, but I went to spawn on you?
Cruise missile incoming. Enemy UAV
Because
overhead.
Modern Warfare.
Cruise missile, go for launch.
Makes sense.
Friendly VTOL on station. Friendly UAV overhead. Friendly Wilson on station.
I
Beginning
don't know
swing.
where anyone is. I'm sorry, but that person said that they were my teammate when I'm sorry. What?
Oh. Makes sense.
Are you fucking for real? You spawned me on the enemy side.
Securing Bravo.
No! Teammate, what the fuck? Why were you not shooting any of them?
Friendly UAV overhead.
I was on an actual kill streak.
Fight, get your heads in the game.
What? Of course that guy had an Odin.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh, okay. Literally the one thing that can beat the Odin is the MP7 apparently.
That's it. We've lost the objective.
So I went 47 and 17. And keep in mind, this is the Odin with no attachments. This is the Odin with no attachments. Imagine it with attachments.
OP.
Yeah.
You can get your nuke.
I doubt that. I doubt that. I am not that good. Alright, Odin. Oh, wait. Wait, no, that's the AUG. There's the Odin. Okay. So, optic. Flash gun. Perk,
Ooh.
fast melee. The next thing that I unlock.
Aim
Suppressor.
up. Underbarrel. Ooh.
Maybe I should
Ooh.
start using Eagle more as well, cause there's more stuff that I can unlock with the Eagle.
Apparently the suppressor gives you more range? What?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Are you looking at the one for the Eagle?
No, for the AUG. Yeah. That's what I said.
Which one are you? Which
So,
which
for the-
suppressor?
For the AUG, the
Well, I'm saying
tactical.
which, the tactical suppressor. It
Yeah.
doesn't increase range. It just means the one that you're using had a decrease of range, and the one that you're using now just increased actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what you should use on every class?
What?
Stim.
A stim?
A stim shot.
Okay.
Because if you get damaged and then back off, you can press L1 and heal yourself.
Wait a minute, no, I wanna do... Because I barely use a sniper, so I'm just gonna do... this.
I wonder if there's a faster fire rate attachment. That has a slow fire rate and it's still that good.
Okay, I kind of have an OP class. I have an AUG and an M4A1.
Wow.
Not really OP. If I had the Odin and the light machine gun, now they'd be screwed. Um, that was weird.
What?
It said that I logged out of the server.
What? Also, it's not really letting us matchmake.
Oh.
Yes, that's not good. I'm gonna have to restart the console.
Ew.
Let's try and play like a regular mode and see if, or if it's ground war. I think it's just me. Okay. So leave the party and I'll try and join you and see if you can matchmake.
Okay. Let's see. Leave, yes, leave party.
Right?
Sweet.
If you can do it. Alright.
Huh.
Just me, it's just well, I
Watch,
guess
you're gonna lag out of this.
imagine that would
I
suck.
knocked on wood.
Yeah.
This might be my last match. Oh, shit! Fuck! God damn it! Every time I do that, I should smack myself in the face.
Yeah, you'll still probably forget.
I do.
Yeah,
I always
I
forget.
forget a lot of things. What a let's see, get the deaths. Right, so now I have an Odin with 3 attachments. See how it goes.
Round one. Capture objectives and kill your enemies.
Whoa!
We're taking Alpha.
Got off the quad and it spawned me looking back towards spawn.
Captured Alpha.
Well, I already got 2 kills.
Securing Bravo. Hostiles at Delta, go. Captured Bravo. Reloading. Hostiles at Delta. Securing C.
No, you motherfucker. Nobody was getting on C. I was like the only one with one other person, and
Assist your
the
team
person
with
flanked
Charlie.
us. Of course. Somehow he's able to hit his shots while moving sideways.
Friendly UAV overhead.
Well, this sucks. I think someone might be in our spawn.
Oh
You
my god!
motherfucker!
What I say?
Enemy counter UAV up. Enemy
Guy inside with the fucking shotgun.
reloading. Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly counter UAV active.
You motherfucker! Why are you sitting in the fucking corner?
Friendly IAV dropping in.
That's like the one time I can't fucking get the kill is because the guy's sitting in a corner and I can't see.
Enemy UAV overhead. Hostiles are taking Bravo. Enemy UAV overhead. You're needed an Alpha. Reloading. Setting shot.
What?
Oh my god, how did that not kill the other guy? I literally shot right through him. What? Stop spawning me outside! Literally right in front of the fucking enemy, come on.
We're taking Echo.
Oh my god. Stop spawning me fucking outside, spawn me inside for fucking once.
Pistol team at me.
Jesus Christ. Oh, we're dead.
Jaguar 0, cruise missile away.
Oh, we're not dead.
Right on target.
Friendly UAV overhead. Hostiles are taking Bravo.
I just died from.
Stand by. Pistol team at
Throw the
Bravo.
fucking grenade.
Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly UAV overhead. Stealth secure.
You fucking.
Allied cruise missile away.
Time for the sniper.
We've lost
Fuck
Bravo.
it.
Need backup at Echo. Friendly UAV overhead.
Great.
UAV overhead.
So, don't go up the staircase by B because they're just fucking
What?
camping in the corners. Okay, game. Thanks for not registering the fucking hits. That's helpful. Extremely helpful for them not registering any fucking.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover.
Fucking. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I literally was outside the door, started stimming, and the guy shot me through the wall or something. I watched the kill cam, and he shot at the door where I was, and it still did the hit detection and it still got me.
Friendly precision airstrike. Take cover.
Aim, man.
Securing C. Friendly UAV. Allied cruise missile away. Enemy VTOL in the AO. We're holding Charlie. We're taking Echo. Hostiles are taking Alpha. Securing Bravo. Friendly UAV drop. Friendly UAV overhead.
Where was he?
Enemy VTOL on the right. Friendly counter
Fucking
UAV
wavy.
active.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's not fair.
Hostiles are taking Delta.
Literally was getting shot at from the VTOL jet while inside through the roof.
Friendly UAV overhead.
Oh, bullshit.
Reloading.
Yeah.
We've lost Delta.
Oh shit, we have 3 points.
Throwing stun. Cruise missile away. We've taken the lead. Friendly IAV dropping in. Enemy's got the lead. Hustle up. Friendly UAV overhead. Be advised. Friendly precision airstrike inbound. Cruise missile go for launch. Reloading. Taking fire. Reloading. Grenade out.
I need protection, teammates, please.
Friendly UAV overhead. Enemy personal radar in the air. Nice shot, good kill. Be advised, friendly precision airstrike inbound. Friendly VTOL on station for Overwatch. Enemy UAV overhead. Turn the table.
Oh, that's fine. Wait, what? No! This guy fucking spawned behind us!
Enemy UAV overhead.
Are you fucking kidding me?
How?
Friendly chopper gunner
He spawned behind us! He spawned on probably one of his teammates and spawned behind us. Okay, how did I die this time?
precision airstrike. Take cover.
Are you fucking... The guy spawned behind us again and shot me through the wall.
Friendly UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover. counter UAV on. Enemy personal radar in the air.
Oh,
Take
damn.
cover. Losing B.
Reload!
Friendly UAV
Check your
overhead.
damn fire! Reloading! Check your damn fire!
How the fuck did you know I was there?
Reloading!
Friendly UAV overhead.
That was... Literally, I was laying down in a corner so that way I could sneak up on the dude, but apparently he knew where I was.
Yep.
Be advised.
How the...
Gunship in the air.
And of
Friendly
course,
UAV overhead.
fucking guys in there.
Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly IAV dropping in. Allied cruise missile away.
Grenade out! Gunship down!
Securing Delta. Enemy missile on station for overwatch.
Really?
Headshot.
Taking Delta.
There was a guy in there,
Friendly UAV
but the
overhead.
UAV showed there was no one. What the fuck?
Losing Bravo.
That's not cool, man. Don't do that. And then we kill.
UAV down!
Friendly IAV dropping.
Don't do that. You just don't show a person in there and then a guy just appears. Not cool. Not cool.
Check fire! Check fire!
Enemy cruise missile
Come on.
incoming. Take cover. Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh my god.
Hostiles at Bravo, go. We're on Delta, stand by.
They're fucking.
I'm lagging super bad.
Probably stop.
Cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Allied cruise.
Ha!
But one time I throw the fucking grenade, it doesn't actually hit.
Keep fighting. We got this.
Fucking knew I was wrong.
Enemy personal radar in the air. Enemy counter UAV online. Enemy personal radar in the air.
Nice.
Outstanding. I expect nothing less.
I had 37 and 21.
6 and 10.
The guy on the highest on our team had 56 and 21.
And it is time for me to go to watch my game. Well, I'll see you later. If
See
you're
ya.
gonna be on. Don't know yet. Alright, well, see ya.
See ya. Alright, well. Guess he's out of the picture now. I'm probably gonna play a few more games and then get off as well. Probably get it to the 4-hour mark. Bad. But anyways, on that note, if you guys are here and like what you see or watching this as a VOD and like what you see on Twitch or YouTube, if you're on YouTube, I want to see more stuff like this in the future, live streams, videos, tutorials, backups for the eggs or whatever it is, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon or anything so that you don't miss videos or live streams. And if you're over on Twitch, don't forget to hit the follow button and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any future live streams that I do on most likely the DLC tomorrow, the last DLC, DLC 4 for Speedrun Profile, Aether Story. Man, so sad to see it ending. But if you want to see that, don't forget to turn on notifications, subscribe, all that. Same with Twitch. I will be live streaming tomorrow. I will be live streaming when Modern Warfare fully comes out. I'm trying to live stream more and more often. So go and turn on those notifications to be first to be notified.
Securing C.
Alright, dude, come on.
Securing Delta.
I love how nobody is helping with C.
Delta secure. You're needed at B. I'm hit. Got Charlie. We lost B. Throwing stun.
I think that was pretty good.
We're taking Bravo. Enemies
Where's this
taking
guy
Echo.
going? Are you fucking kidding me? Of course, of course. Come on. Let me spawn on him.
Enemy Delta, go. Enemy UAV overhead.
Terrible.
Enemy UAV
Oh, I feel so bad for that dude.
securing
Oh, I
Bravo.
feel so bad.
Cruise missile ready to launch. Enemy
That guy did not deserve any of what just
enemies
happened to
taking
him.
Charlie. Allied IAV dropping in. Got Bravo. We're on Delta, stand by. Allied UAV over.
That guy didn't deserve
We
any
lost
of
Charlie.
And that easy.
Enemy UAV overhead. Have white phosphorus ready to. Enemy cruise missile, take cover. 1 kilo ready to launch.
Oh. He spawned behind us? Oh, man.
Enemy
Nope,
cruise
nope.
missile, take cover. Need backup at Bravo.
I don't know where to go!
tracking with Echo.
No clue where to go.
Echo, go. Airstrike.
Why would you turn around? Why? Why would you turn around?
Enemy counter UAV. You're needed at B.
Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that right now.
Traffic in. Securing Alpha. Enemy UAV overhead.
Guy up there. Gotta be a guy up there. Look at how these guys are playing.
Enemy UAV overhead.
I just want to show you how these guys are playing.
Visual on target. Engaging.
Allied UAV overhead.
These guys are playing like this. Like, you guys to know that these guys are playing like.
Allied UAV overhead.
Yeah, I kind of figured I wasn't gonna get anyone. Yes.
Alpha.
Give me those good old hit markers.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. Beware. Enemy UAV overhead. Alpha secure. Allied UAV overhead.
I really hope nobody comes in.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. Beware.
Not coming from there?
Losing aim. Allied IAV down. Enemy UAV overhead.
They were all up there. They were all up there. All of them. Every single one of them. Every single one of them is up there.
Enemy Wilson deployed.
How did you know I was coming? How? How?
Allied precision airstrike in.
How would you know that I'd be coming from that direction?
Enemy UAV overhead.
Of course.
We're halfway there.
I'm not even mad because it's expected at this point. It's just expected at this point.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. Beware. Enemy has echo. Allied losing Alpha. Enemy counter UAV. We've lost radar.
No, teammates! Where the fuck are you, teammates?
Bravo.
Like, what the fuck?
Allied UAV overhead.
Oh my god. What are they doing?
Overhead. We've lost Delta.
Actually though, what the fuck are they doing? They're obviously just fucking sitting there. Why? Ooh.
Enemy VTOL in AO. UAV down. Enemy UAV overhead. Need backup in Alpha.
Yep. Get.
Losing
Look
ground.
at how this man is playing. I just killed that guy with an ammo crate.
Assist your team at B. Enemy at Alpha, go! Enemy UAV overhead. Assist your team at Alpha. Need backup at Bravo. Lost A. Allied UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. Allied UAV overhead. Enemy VTOL in the AO.
Okay, that guy seems like he's having some troubles over there, so I'm not even gonna go. I'm not even gonna try. There be
Allied UAV overhead.
behind us.
Allied IAV dropping in. Securing Echo. We're taking Alpha. We're outbound. Stand by. Enemy
God,
UAV
just spawn me
overhead.
fucking inside! What is so fucking hard to do? Just spawn me fucking inside. Why is it so hard to do?
Got Delta. Enemy UAV overhead.
Teammate.
Losing ground. We're taking Echo. Allied cruise missile launched. We've got Echo. Enemy UAV overhead. Allied
Oh,
UAV
thanks, Tim.
overhead. Allied cruise missile launched. Enemy VTOL in the AO. Enemy Juggernaut up. Allied UAV overhead. Enemy precision airstrike. Get down. Allied cruise missile launched.
Mates. Why?
Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh my game. Game. Stop spawning me fucking outside! Like, spawn me somewhere inside.
UAV overhead. Allied UAV overhead. Allied missile airstrike incoming. Beware. Allied UAV overhead. We lost.
Oh! I hit him once. He's that close to me. And my hipfire goes like fucking around his body? Come on, game. Like, seriously.
Overhead.
Like, seriously, come on.
Enemy cruise missile, take cover. Allied cruise missile launched. Enemy UAV overhead. We're out of stand Cruise missile ready to launch. We're on Alpha, stand by. We're holding Bravo. Enemy VTOL in the AO. Alpha secure. Enemy
Just do
UAV
this.
overhead. Securing shuttle. About to go.
Hey. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Enemy UAV overhead.
Being looked at from outside. Fucking kidding me? I was getting shot at from the fucking plane, and then that guy comes around and fucking finishes me off.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Swear to God. Okay, I hit him 4 times and he doesn't die. But I only 2-shot other people. Makes complete sense.
Allied UAV overhead.
Ah,
This is our fight. Stay focused. Allied precision airstrike.
this is probably my last match anyway. I gotta finish it off. Literally 4 hours long. Or 2.5. Or 3.5, excuse me. Oh.
UAV down.
How the fuck is that to kill someone? Hey, I went 55 and 18. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh man. But yeah, I'm gonna end it off here. I'm gonna eat off and probably about why am I raging at a game that literally has nothing with me or my life. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this live stream. I really do hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget, if you're on YouTube, to go ahead, hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so that you don't miss any videos or live streams whenever I do post them, especially tomorrow throughout the next week because of DLC 4 for Black Ops 4, the last Aether map. And if you're over on Twitch, don't forget to hit the follow button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future live streams like tomorrow when I do stream the map Tagged or Tillen for Black Ops 4. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and all of you in the next one.